What is good? Happy Friday night. Oh my God, we got NFC Championship game on Sunday. Sorry for the delay. Better late than never. My daughter was here and she's going to her mom's this weekend, so I had to help her with some stuff. Whatever. It is what it is. I'm late, but we're here. My boy Bash, how are we feeling?
Let's go, baby. It's time to tame them Lions on Sunday at Levi Stadium. NFC Championship game is going to be lit.
It's going to be so lit. You know why it's going to be lit, Bash? Because Deebo Samuel is back. Ooh!
Gonna be snatching them chains. Gonna be snatching them chains.
We can be snatching chain. Deebo 19, number 19.
Oh, you got the jersey. You got the jersey, man. You're ready.
Oh, I was born ready, bro. I'm wearing Deebo this weekend. If there was any question of what jersey I was wearing, we wearing Deebo. I'm straight. I'm coming with the Deebo hype, the hoodie, everything. I'm so excited. We're gonna talk about this game, but let's get right to it, man. Deebo Samuel's back. How are you feeling? What was your mood when you heard the news Deebo Samuel is officially playing, not on the injury report? How are you feeling today?
My mood was more of my mood what it was yesterday, because yesterday I saw Deebo in practice dancing, jumping around, catching passes above his head, and all this stuff. And I was like, dude, this guy is playing. I don't care what Shanahan or what the media, what the injury status report says. This guy's going to be on that field Sunday. So that was how I felt yesterday and felt really good today. So when I saw that, just solidified what I thought.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I was early in the week, I'm not going to lie, I was a little worried. I was like, because the reports were like, it's paying 50-50, this and that. Maybe they were keeping Detroit on their toes. But when I heard earlier in the week, and the fact that, and Deebo pointed it out in his press conference. He says, look, they were giving me like round the clock PT. Shout out to the physical therapist. Like, he named them personally. That was dope. As a physical therapist, I was like, all right, shout out to the PT squad. Like, they were working on his shoulder, making sure he was good, treatment around the clock. That tells me that Deebo was doing everything he needed to do to get on the field. He posted on his Instagram, like, whatever it takes the other day. And I was like, man, this guy's not missing this game. As the days roll by, we kept getting better news. It was like, okay, we don't know if he's going to play. Okay, no fracture. Okay, he's feeling better. Okay, he's limited in practice. Today, he was in practice, second day in a row, like he said, jumping up and catching passes. I was like, dude, Deebo's not missing this game. So I think that's huge, not only for the 49ers, because obviously they play better when Deebo's in the game, but it's great for the teammates because they saw this guy, a captain, a leader, and they saw him do whatever he had to do to make sure he's playing for this game. They know how much this means for Deebo and the rest of this team. So everybody is just locked in. And the fact that this guy came in, he was hurting all week, and he did what he needed to do to play. Like, that's the team's going to be like, dang, dude, Deebo is a dog. We need to go out there and win. He did what he needed to do to help us out. We need to go out there and make sure Deebo doesn't end up, losing or whatever the case. Like we remember when we saw in 2021 when he's sitting there in tears against the Rams. Like, they're going to go out there and fight for Deebo. He's just a badass, man. He's a dog. And I was so happy. I was doing victory laps. Like, I was at my job. I was in the clinic, and I saw the news, and I was like, let's go. I was hyped. The patients were like, let's go. They were
They're like, why's this guy screaming?
Bro, I had the fans were like, what's going on? I was like, Deebo's playing. And then this nurse comes around the corner. My boy Ricky's like, oh, Deebo's playing. I was like, Deebo. We're like dapping each other up. The whole hospital was lit because Deebo's playing, and they knew like everybody's wearing Niner gear today. So the vibe in the hospital was just like through the roof. I was hyped, dude. I'm so happy for Deebo. I'm so happy for this team because now we got that X factor. He's not protecting nothing. And his press conference, boy, he said, I ain't protecting nothing. Then he told CJ, he said, CJ, you better come on the field and strap it up. Man.
That's the part I missed. I didn't know he had some parting words for CJ at the presser. I caught the part where he said, I'm not protecting or whatever. Did they get him on that Theragun though? I know that new have you seen that? I saw Christian McCaffrey on the sidelines, and they had that, what they call a Theragun or something like that.
Oh yeah, the Theragun.
Yeah.
I'm sure they did. I
didn't know what that was until like a week ago, and I've seen it. The big thing in the NFL now.
Yeah, I've used that with patients. It's cool. I mean, that's part of the CMC's routine, just to keep the muscles loose and the blood flowing. Mm-hmm. But man, Deebo, when he said that to CJ, when he says you better come and strap it up, I was like, Deebo has that dog in him. And, and he gave like the side eye to the camera. And when he says, I ain't protecting nothing, he got like silent after it. He was just like, everybody in the like press box, I feel like everybody was just like, all right, my boy Deebo is on demon time. Like Deebo is locked in. You want to talk about locked in? Deebo Samuel, definition of locked in. I was like, oh my god, this guy. I think he's gonna have a big game this weekend. But yeah, so man, Deebo Samuel, how important is he to this team, Dash?
Very important. Like I've always thought like Ayuk was more of the polished receiver, and Ayuk is usually the guy who does get more receiving yards per game. But I've been saying it. We were hoping to see it this last week, man. Deebo's that special kind of playmaker. He's versatile. You can light him up in the backfield. When I love it when him and CMC are in the backfield at the same time because I think it confuses the shit out of D coordinators, linebackers, safeties, you name it. And it's just he's a very fun player to watch. And like I said, when he gets that Tasmanian devil in him, a la the Eagles game, it's a thing of beauty. He makes Brock Purdy's job way easier, makes the whole team, makes Shanahan's job way easier. And we were hoping to see that last week, and it was unfortunate that he got hurt early. It's just one of those Deebo gets injured in weird ways where it doesn't even look like that bad of a play, and all of a sudden he's out for the game. And some people were like, "Oh, well, maybe he could have played anyways," but I don't know about all that. But all I know is I'm happy that he's playing on this Sunday. I think he's going to make a difference, and he's going to give us some big plays. And I already made a prediction in my past show that he's giving us our first touchdown in the game.
Oh, I love it. I love that prediction, man. That's a good prediction, Bash. And I agree. Like Deebo is the type of guy that he's so critical to this team. We all know that. But I felt he was going to have a big game last week. He got hurt, and it changed everything up, put us in a tizzy, really. But Kyle and Brock, they said the game plan was Deebo heavy last week. I feel like he's going to be the big game plan for this week. I don't think they're going to use him as a decoy. Deebo's not going out there to be a decoy in the NFC Championship. He's played so many years. He's been there so close, so many times. Like he just hasn't had that moment where he can put the team on his back. Like 2021, his All-Pro season, his great season where he got paid basically. That year he was just killing it. Playoffs, he was putting the team on the back. Then that game, that Rams game, I feel like they tried to take him out, right? And he didn't really play much the fourth. I think he was hurt. He broke down. Like this game means something to Deebo. It means something to everybody. But I feel like Deebo is just going to go out there and have this like masterclass game. He wants to prove himself. That's the vibe I got out of him today. I think he's having a touchdown. I like that you said it's the first touchdown. That'll be great. He is the tone setter of this team, as we say. I had a prediction today. I think he's going to throw a touchdown. Deebo Samuel, throw a touchdown. Kyle Shanahan's going to reach in that bag, and he's going to pull out a trick play. And it's going to be one of those end-around, flea flicker type plays where, boom, he passes. Oh, Deebo, he's launching to throw. He just throws it. Brandon Ayuk, touchdown, 49ers. Deebo Samuel with a touchdown pass. Crowd goes wild. You see me in the stands. It's going to be a Deebo.
I'm waiting for them to show you in the crowd, by the way.
I've been waiting for
that. I haven't seen it yet.
They need to. I need to. There's so much to talk about today. Real quick, shout out to the chat. How's everybody doing? I know you guys are hyped up. My man Julius says Deebo's the number one trash talker that backs up what he says 100%. Raymond says Black Force Deebo type of game. Stephanie says Deebo ain't playing. Jocelyn says angry Deebo mode on. This, yeah, it's angry Deebo. My man, depressed Niners fan, says Lions fans want to get cocky now. It's actually crazy. Kept arguing with some bum on TikTok. The Niner fans been humble. We are known to get cocky, but the Lions fans are getting a little ballistic. I can't wait for this game. And speaking of Lions fans getting cocky, somebody commented here. I can't remember. I can't see the comment, but somebody, I think it was Steven Reynolds. Did you see there's a Lions fan that got a tattoo, Super Bowl champions already?
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just not a fan of people. I'm not a fan of tattoos in general. If people want to get them, that's their thing. But that's just some NFL tattoos. When they get like that, this is the name of the team or player, whatever. But to try to predict the Super Bowl champions, no. Sorry. That is a bad sign for them, bro.
I don't know if you can see it. Lions, Super Bowl champ.
Oh my gosh. That is terrible.
That's the kiss of death. Quiz kiss of death. Yo, he did it. It's all over. I saw it was trending over today. It was everywhere. I was like, oh God.
As if the locker room material wasn't enough, because like from what I've been hearing, the consensus is like the media makes it sound like, Detroit's got it in the bag, and Detroit Lions fans themselves are acting like they don't need to play a game on Sunday. Like they already have this one. It's like, okay, cool. And all the Purdy talk and all this other hooting and hollering. It's like, Bring it on Sunday. Let's go.
Not the tattoo. Yeah, come on, man. Like that to get a tattoo like that is just ominous. That's always a bad sign. We've seen other teams. I think there was a Cowboys guy that did it. A Bills fan did it. Like especially the Lions. Like this team hasn't been in the NFC Championship since I was like 7 or 8 years old. I was in elementary school learning how to write cursive the last time these guys got into the NFC Championship. So I would pump my brakes if I was a Lions fan. I'm not like the Niners haven't won a Super Bowl
Bro,
since '94 season.
this
I'm
season
not
should
putting
feel
the
like a Super Bowl. It should already feel like they won the Super Bowl. I mean, for them to get like 2 playoff wins is like, and they weren't even supposed to be there. It's like, all right, guys, you guys already did what you weren't supposed to do. Now it's our turn.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. So, going into this game, we know Jared Goff is, this resurgent quarterback. He kind of like rewrote his story because he was, a big time number one pick a couple years back. Lions, they went to the Super Bowl, they couldn't win, so they gave up on it. They traded him. They just kind of like threw him into the deal with the Lions. It was like an afterthought. The Rams went and got Matt Stafford, and Jared Goff's kind of rewrote his story. He's been nice, but he does have good weapons. Amon-Ra, Laporta, the good running backs, Gibbs, right? And everybody. But I feel like he doesn't get the talk that Brock Purdy does. Brock Purdy's like, oh, he has all these weapons. But so does Jared Goff. I'm not taking anything away from Jared Goff, but the media loves the Jared Goff story. They're like, oh, he resurrected his career. But we know the last time Jared Goff has played the Niners, Dre Greenlaw pick six. Before that, Javon Kinlaw got a pick six on him. That's crazy. And then Fred Warner got a pick six on him. Are we going to get another pick six this Sunday on Jared Goff? I would make my day. What do you think?
I've been wanting Demo to get a pick six. I want him to get one last game.
Yeah.
But it looks like if anybody might get one before Demo, it's Greenlaw. Greenlaw he is thirsty for that pick six, man. But I just hope that this time around he gets the interception. Because when he had the pick six against Goff, we replayed it last time we went live. It's just Greenlaw running straight ahead with a straight, like none of that dancing around crap. I don't know. I don't know what he was doing on those last 2 ones, but just running around in circles and he needs to stop that. He needs to kill us. Yeah, that's too much. And even before that, early in the season, right? He was trying to pass it off and hand it off to one of the other DBs or linebackers. Like he was trying to do like the Atlanta Falcons used to do with Dion back in the day.
Yo, dude, Greenlaw is a menace. He called it first thought. He was like, I'm gonna get another pick. And before the game, they saw it. There was like when you watch all the content the Niners posted, the 49 hours, the media, like all those sights and sounds, those videos they put on YouTube. So there was a video of him, at the beginning, he's walking into the stadium. He's like, oh, it's a big day, big day. He gets 2 picks. And you're right. He was like running around. He's crazy. He's a menace. But he's been locked in, man. Big play Dre. They don't call him Big Play Dre for nothing. I could feel him getting another big play. But look at this bold comment from Danny. He says, Raj, bold take. I think Ambry gets a pick six and he forces a fumble. Ambry Thomas didn't have his best game last week. He kind of had a, poor performance compared to where he was playing in the season. He was playing pretty well. But I feel like I went back, I studied the game. I heard all the comments. Like Mooney Ward yesterday was really sticking up for Ambry, good leader, good captain. And then I was looking back at all the news. I almost forgot. Ambry Thomas did break his hand a couple of weeks ago. So he's been playing through broken hand. So I got to give him credit for that. If Ambry comes out and has a big game, last week game, it don't matter. Like you could be a hero. So I hope Ambry Thomas steps up. I don't know. I think the guy that I think is going to have a monster game in the secondary is Diamador Lenore. Because they're not going to throw it to Mooney Ward. I think Diamador Lenore, playoff Lenny, is built different. This guy has a 19.6 passer rating against in the playoffs. He's different in the playoffs. If anybody has a pick six, I'm calling it. It's Diamador Lenore this weekend. I have a feeling he's going to have a big game. That is my boy. That is my guy. I've been the biggest Diamador Lenore fan since he came into the league. Go back, check the receipts. I've always been a Demo fan. Lockdown Lenny, right? I think he has a big time game. I think he gets an interception. I would love to see it be a pick six, but I don't know about all that. So that's
the hyena.
But speaking of big game, the defensive line has been underperforming. I talked about this last night with Aaron, and we're both not a fan of how this D-line's performed. Nick Bosa has been great. He's not getting enough credit, but what do you think? D-line, will they show up?
Man, you think like a few seasons back, and it was nothing but praise for Chris Kocurek. Like they'd always say, like Chris Kocurek is the greatest D-line coach in the NFL. He takes these average D linemen, and then next thing you know, those D linemen will get a contract. They'll get a pay raise, you name it. And it's like, when Chase Young, the first 3 games, right? We had him, boom, 15 sacks, in 3 games. And I was like, okay, cool. I like this. You get the Buckeye bookends, Bosa on one side, you got Chase Young on the other, Hargrave, kick the door down. I can't kick the door down. There you go. Love when you do that. And we even brought in Randy Gregory, right? Like somebody's got to step up, man. I know. I mean, I don't want to hear this Rust bullshit ass excuse no more. I mean, we were hearing it last week, but none of that anymore. None of that. We already got the game out of the way. We got some people thought we could have lost this past game. So, I don't know. And we should, what? Bosa did get to the QB. To Bosa's credit, though, he didn't get a sack, but he did get 5 QB hits. But we just need to seal the deal on these QB hits, man. And other guys need to join in on the fun. It's not just Bosa that does everything and everybody else just sits back. I mean, if you have to blitz from time to time, do so. I'm for it. Blitz Greenlaw, blitz Warner, blitz whoever. At the end of the day, we just got to get to Goff, and he's not a mobile guy like Jordan Love. To our credit, I mean, not to our credit, but I mean, we're lucky the fact that he's just not mobile, doesn't have the great footwork that Jordan Love has. And so, it should be easier this time around. But then again, Detroit has a strong line.
Mm-hmm.
Penei Sewell, the other guy whose name escapes me, Decker. I think Decker's the other tackle, right?
Yeah.
And those guys are excellent tackles, man. It's not going to be easy, man.
So
Love was pressured 40% of the time last week too, but we just didn't sack him.
Yeah, absolutely. The 49ers offensive line is going to be up to a big test because the Detroit Lions have a good D line, but their offensive line for the Lions, they're really good. They're a good offensive line, but let's talk about it because there was some injury updates. They had Frank Ragnow, their center. He's all pro. He's like legend guy for them. He's one of their best players. He has an ankle, toe, knee, and a back injury. This man had an ankle, toe, knee, back, everything you could hurt. He's hurt. He practiced and he's playing. This guy's not missed. That's crazy. He's going to be banged up. So if anything, Javon Hargrave, Arik Armstead need to be able to come in and dominate this guy, right? Because he's going to be hurt. And their starting offensive guard, Jonah Jackson, he's been ruled out. That's big. So that is big. Jonah Jackson's out. They do have a great offensive line. They do have a good running game.
I saw that.
But that's a huge loss. And now you got some fresh meat up against the 49ers D-line. So if there's any time the 49ers can take advantage and get some big plays, it's this weekend. You're right. Somebody has to step up. Armstead, I guess he was rusty last week. He better not be this week. Hargrave, you better earn that money because we paid you a lot. Randy Gregory, get in there. This is why we brought you in. You're a good veteran. You know how to get off that corner. And then Chase Young, man, this guy, ever since that Jaguars game, like we haven't seen him. You want to get paid this offseason, go out there, have a good game. Chase Young, you can make your name known. Nobody's going to remember the last couple of games leading up to this. If you have a good NFC Championship and a great Super Bowl, Chase Young just made himself a bag. So this is a huge game where Chase can step up. He needs to set the edge better. He hasn't done a good job. But again, you throw everything out the window, everything else leading up to this, and go out and have a monumental game. Go do it, Chase Young. I need you to go out there and kick some ass, man. Go help Bosa.
He needs to chase that quarterback. He needs to chase that bag. He needs to chase that Super Bowl ring. I mean, he just needs to chase everything out there, basically.
We made that trade. Jared Goff.
We made that trade for a reason. We need to see a return on our investment on that one.
Absolutely. You hit the nail on the head that the 49ers need Chase Young to step up, but you also hit the nail on the head that Jared Goff is not as mobile as a guy like Jordan Love. Now they're banged up. Jared Goff has had a good season, but he's one of those statue type quarterbacks. He'll drop back. He's not going to, run outside the pocket. And traditionally, the 49ers play those type of quarterbacks better. So I think the defensive line will be better this week against Jared Goff. And like we said, Jared Goff has had a pretty nice history against the 49ers over the last couple of years. So Niners got to bring it to him. Nick Bosa this week was, he quoted saying, he knows what to expect from Goff. They know what works against him. Like they know him. They've played him many times. I know it's a different system in Detroit compared to the Rams, but they did play Detroit a couple of years back, right? When Dan Campbell first took over. Definitely a different team. This is going to be a good
We almost lost it at the end, man. We let them come back.
Yeah, well, I mean, the game was out of hand, so the 49ers kind of pulled their starters because, remember, Jason Verrett got hurt in that game, so they were, like, pulling everybody. But when they did, they were coming back. I was a little scared. I was like, oh, crap, are we going to lose this game? That game was wild, dude. That game was just that was the opener that year. That was the opener in 2021. That game was insane. Now, we held on to win it. So, I hope that's not, the vibe of what's to come this game. I hope the Niners can
No, no,
dominate.
no, hell no.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see.
And a little fun fact to me, everybody keeps saying that like Dan Campbell's this risk taker and he's gonna, go all out and go on fourth down and do I think that's gonna lead to his demise, if you ask me, man. This Niner defense is gonna be way too hyped up and he can try to go for it on fourth down all he wants, man. That's probably when we do end up getting the pick six.
Yeah, and my man Flood said the same thing. He says,
There you go,
I
you read
think,
my mind.
yeah, he says, I think Dan Campbell will be aggressive and it will backfire on him. He is such an aggressive coach, and they call him Dan Gamble, right? Because he will go out there, and if it's fourth down, he'll go for it. If it's a 2 point conversion, he'll go for it. Like this guy takes huge risks. Like he puts his nuts on the table. That's the type of guy I like. Respect him. He's gutsy, but I think in this type of game, that's going to backfire against him. You got to play. At some point, you got to understand the analytics and go for the high percentage type moves. And in a game like this, the veteran leadership, um, the ability to know what's to expect. The 49ers are not young here. They're not like spring chickens here. They've been in this moment before. It's not new to them. For the Lions, it's new to them. It's just they haven't even been in the playoffs for years. The Lions haven't been in this moment. For them, the city of Detroit's happy to be in the playoff, and they're like, wow, I can't believe it. Like we said, 32 years since they were in the NFC Championship. Like that's a long time ago. Some of these people in the chat weren't even born at that point. I was a young buck. You were a little bit a little bit older than me, probably not too much older than me, but that was a long time, Bash. 32 years ago. Dan Campbell needs to make sure he doesn't overplay things. I think he's been a good coach, but this is where Kyle Shanahan needs to use his advantage, use his, leadership and his veteran savvy. Like Kyle has been in this moment many, many times, and he needs to use that experience to his advantage. This is a game where Kyle Shanahan has the upper hand, and I hope and I pray that Kyle can use that experience to his advantage. I don't know. What do you think?
I think so too. I mean, I noticed the consensus. Back to Kyle really quick. Since you brought up Kyle, I mean, a lot of people were complaining about Kyle in the last game, like he didn't run the ball enough, and we need to run the ball, and we put the ball in Brock Purdy's hands way too much. And I didn't necessarily notice it during the game, so I wasn't one of those guys that was yelling and screaming to run the ball more. Part of it because when CMC did run the ball, it was very, very effective. I mean, he had 98 yards. I was looking at this. I pulled up the stat line somewhere mid third quarter because I was thinking to myself like. Because I knew for a fact that the Niners were 10-1 in any game that CMC had 75 yards or more. So I was like, okay, how many yards does the CMC have? I'm curious right now. And this is somewhere in the third quarter, and we were losing. I pulled it up, but it said he had 77. I was like, all right, well, we're losing, but he's got 77 yards. So maybe this might mean lead to something good. So lo and behold, he pulled up and got 98 yards. But my point is, we only had 23 design runs, so to speak. And that's 23 runs, and normally we, on average, throughout the season, we average 29 runs per game. So, and we just threw the ball a whole lot more than we normally do, and this is in a rainy game where Purdy was switching gloves, wiping his hand in between throws, and again, it'll be a lot easier, a lot more smooth this time around with Purdy throwing because he doesn't have to worry about that. And as great as Purdy's been for us, this is kind of his Achilles heel, right? The whole web ball for whatever reason, even though they've practiced it, they've worked on it. Maybe they need to find him a better glove because the ball doesn't come out the same way when he has that glove on. But hopefully Shanahan gets it right. I'd love to see Elijah Mitchell in the mix a bit more in the mix. Period. He didn't even step on the field this past game. That's a guy who had 960 yards his rookie season, and he had a big run against Detroit Lions his rookie year, the first game of the year. So we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely exciting times. I expect Brock Purdy to bounce back, like you said. This is a game, last week in the rain, rusty, whatever the case is, they've had that gut check game. They got that like butterfly type game out of their system. Now they can go out there and play Niner football because I think this is a game. The matchups are better for the 49ers in this game. Secondary for the Lions, we know it's not the greatest. That's the story everybody says. You got good run defense, but if the 49ers can get the ball downfield, it's going to be a long game for the Lions, and I expect that. Deebo Samuel will be there. It's going to open it up for everybody. And like I said earlier, I think everybody's just going to be hyped that Deebo's there, the tone setter, right? Just the fact that he's there gets everybody hyped up, the energy, and you have to account for Deebo, okay? Deebo's there. Even if he's a decoy or if he's not getting the ball, you have to account for the guy. You have to put a man on him. and that takes away from someone that could cover Ayuk. Ayuk is going to have a big game. I think he's got 2 games to lock in. Hopefully, we get 2 games. He wants to get paid. He wants to show that he's a big time receiver. He was number 7 in receptions this year. I tweeted it out, and he was 7th in receptions, 30 in targets. That's absurd. That's an incredible stat to show how efficient this man has been. If he can have a big time masterclass game, Deebo or Brandon Ayuk, he's getting a big time paycheck this offseason. He's getting one regardless, but even bigger. So watch out for him. George Kittle, this guy's been really bringing it, with the Brock Purdy at quarterback. Like, he found his groove. He's found his quarterback. He's the best tight end left in the play. He's the best tight end in the NFL, and he's proven it this year. So those 2 guys can have a big game. CMC, we know he's going to get in the mix. Feed him the ball. You give CMC the ball because he was averaging like 6-7 yards a game. Give him the ball. But I think, a guy that's being forgotten, again, is Juwan Jennings. And last week, this guy came out, 5 catches, 61 yards, 4 first downs. Don't forget about Juwan Jennings. Deebo's back. We all love it. But people are going to forget about Juwan Jennings, and I think he can have another big game. So that brings me to, bold takes. I said Deebo's going to get a throwing touchdown. My man Flood says CMC throws and catches and runs for a touchdown. This could be a CMC masterclass type game. What do you think? I mean, I know you said that you see a pick 6 coming in. Is there any other bold takes? Like, what do you think is going to happen? Like, something that we may not have even said yet on this game. And who worries you for the Lions? Like, those 2 things. What's something that we haven't talked about that you think could happen for the 49ers to win this game? And who worries you the most on the Lions?
Really quick, I want to, since you read my mind with Juwan Jennings, because it's going to be interesting to finally see Juwan Jennings back with Deebo and Ayuk. We thought we were going to see it last week, but Ayuk got injured early in the game, and it didn't really count. So this is going to help Brock Purdy a whole lot, having Juwan out there. Juwan's a really, really nice player. He's not a fast guy, but he's a guy who'll block to the whistle. He'll make a clutch catch when you need it.
Mm-hmm.
He jumps up at the point of the attack. He's got them long arms, and he just looks taller and bigger than what he's listed to. Not that he's small or anything like that, but he just looks like kind of like a low key, kind of like a Larry Fitzgerald type of target. It's a lot of fun having a guy like that because we don't have any guys like that in our offense other than him. So just having him back with Kittle, Ayuk, and Deebo, it's going to be a lot of fun. But again, shout out to Conley too. Conley made a nice catch this past game where I wasn't expecting to see him play. He got a 17-yarder down the stretch, and that was good. But yeah, man, who else gets a big play? I mean, you're talking about offense?
Yeah, any offense, defense. My man Ryan from No Border Sports, his Juice.
He's up in here.
Are we forgetting about Juice? Maybe Juice Tutty. What do you think?
Juice, man. So, yeah, somebody said that earlier on the pregame show, another show that I did. Who else I think you got me with this one, man. I'm trying to think of who gets a big play, man. I really, really want to see how about Bosa just forces a fumble and Fred Warner picks it up for a touchdown? How about that?
I like it.
That's what I want to see. The Bosa bear knocks Goff to the ground. Boom! It's a fumble. Fred Warner takes it back. Let's go.
Let's go. I could hear it right now. Hold on. I'm hearing. I got the telepathy. Hold on. I'm here. Oh, Jared Goff drops back. He drops back. Nick Bosa comes around the end. He's running towards Jared Goff. He just hits him. The ball is on the ground. Fred Warner picks it up. He scoops it. He's running the 5. Touchdown. Oh, my God. So 49ers. Fred Warner with the scoop of the score. Let's go. Is that what's going to happen? I'm excited. Man. I'm hyped up. Let's go.
Yeah, we need a big play, man. It's been a minute, man. We need I know he got 5 QB hits, but man, we just need that big play Bosa Bear to come out this time around, man.
Let's go, man. Yeah, I think there's going to be all the stops. Let me tell you about this real quick. Who did you say who you were worried about for the Lions?
Amon-Ra St. Brown. That guy's a stud, man. He had about 1,500 receiving yards this year. He's a dope-ass wide receiver. I know Mooney Ward's going to be playing. I don't know if Mooney Ward's going to be shadowing him or not. I'm not sure how they do that. But if Mooney Ward is going to be on him, he's going to have his work cut out for him. I know Mooney Ward's an all-pro this year, but not saying that I think Amon-Ra St. Brown's going to cook him the whole time, but it's just going to be a tough matchup, man.
He's good, man. He is good. That's definitely a scary matchup. I think that's what everybody's looking at is, can we contain Amon-Ra? To me, the guy I'm worried about is Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs is a phenomenal player, and he's young. He's getting better. As the season went on, he became a big-time part of that offense. And, they didn't draft him for nothing. He's been nice. They've been running the ball well. They got a two-headed monster. That run game, it's playoff football, Bash. And if you run the ball, you can win the game. I think that's what worries me the most for the Lions is, can we stop their run? That is a big time tactic, because the 49ers have not been able to stop the run over the last couple of weeks. The last month, they have been struggling to stop the run. And I know Armstead was out for most of it. He was back last week. I'll say he was rusty. This is a week. Again, we talked about how their center and their guard is, their guard's banged up. Their center's banged up. So they do have some, concerns on their offensive line. This is a week where we have to be able to get through, penetrate that line. Hargrave, Armstead have to be able to stop that run, because I'm worried about Gibbs. I'm not going to lie to you. That's where I'm worried. And then on defense, Aiden Hutchinson's a dog, man. He really stepped up over the last couple of weeks. Like, he was turning it up. He kind of had like a defensive player of the year type of run at the end. He didn't get the recognition, but I think eventually one day Hutch is going to be in that MVP, defensive player of the year type consideration. I think next year he'll start. He's a young guy. It takes you a couple years to get that recognition, but I think people realize Hutchinson's a beast. When he first came in the league, he was good. He was quick, athletic, kind of like a Bosa type guy, very strong, very agile, but he's added some moves to his repertoire. He's got this spin move. Holy smokes. Like, he might give Colton McKivitz a hard night, that because he's not going to go line up on
He's
credit.
really good, man. He's way better than I thought he'd be. Seriously,
he's
man.
good, bro. I watched him in college.
Yeah.
He was so good. I knew he was going to be good, but he's better than I thought he, was coming out. When he was coming out, I like him. I love him. But he's gotten better, and he's developed some moves. That spin move is lethal. Colton McKivitz is going to have his hands full. I'm worried about Aiden Hutchinson. I cannot see Purdy getting like put on his ass if Hutchinson comes around the corner. That's where I'm worried about for the Lions. We got to contain them. We got to be able to stop, their penetration, their edge rushers. They got a good young front, and I'm worried about Gibbs, man. Those two guys, Hutchinson and Gibbs, are what worries me. Amon Brown, I know he's a dog, but I think the 49ers are going to just let him do what he has to do. Amon Brown is a dog, man. So, but those other two guys, I'm really worried about.
And yeah, it's a great point that you made. I mean, McKivitz gave up 11.5 sacks this season, and that's the most of any Niner lineman. I don't know how he ranks in terms of the rest of the NFL, but that's not a good number. So, yeah, we need McKivitz to step his game up and definitely, if it's going to be Burford next to him or Feliciano next to him, or I don't know. I didn't recall seeing Kittle staying back for pass blocking this past game. I don't know if he did or not. If you noticed that, let me know, because I didn't notice it. But they might have to do that from time to time. I don't know, but I'd welcome it every once in a while. That's all.
Yeah, definitely use Kittle, slide the guard out like Caleb says. Put Juice in there. They're gonna have to help out McKivitz, because he can't do this on his own. He if he does, shout out to you, my boy. But it's a team effort. They definitely have to help slide the guard out, whatever they got to do to help. Because this is a tough matchup, So definitely gotta just step up. Tej Beats says everyone's sleeping on Jameson. Let's not leave him out. Yeah, the Detroit has a very potent offense. They wouldn't be in the NFC Championship if they didn't have a good squad. They're a good team, man. So this is going to be a hell of an NFC Championship. I think these definitely are the top two teams in the NFC. I think they have been all year, and it's going to be a battle, man. It's going to be fun. I'm so hyped up. Detroit's a tough team, man. And again, they have a fun story, a great story. Like, they're America's underdog, and everybody loves an underdog story. This is the team of destiny, and it's one of those cool stories. The 49ers, definitely Brock Purdy, he's this underdog story himself. So both teams have just so much, going into this game. So it's going to be a good one. Both teams have fun stories. 49ers, 3 out of the last 4 years. Can they finally get over the hump? Can they climb the mountain? Get they back, the revenge tour? Remember, the revenge tour went horribly wrong. Kittle, I will be back with a vengeance.
Yeah.
We all remember that shit. That's the story. Niners have a story. The Detroit Lions, the last time they were in the playoffs in the NFC Championship game, kids were in their parents', underloins and stuff. So this is a hell of a game. Great stories on the line. And who knows what's going to happen. But the line is the Niners are 7-point favorite. Do you think the Niners cover that spread? What do you think?
Definitely the Niners cover that spread. I mean, if you want, I could drop my score prediction now.
Drop it. Put your score prediction. Let's see it. I want to hear it.
I got 34-17 Niners, so we definitely cover.
Okay. I have 27-20. I think it's going to be a 7-point game. I think 27-20.
Oh, okay. There you go. You got a close one.
Yeah, it's gonna be a close one, and
And I'm not saying this because I'm a Niner fan. I just think that it was like things were a bit lackluster last game, right? And, Purdy wasn't getting the praise that he normally gets, even though he finally won a fourth quarter comeback type game. But I think that the Niners want to fire out on all four cylinders or all eight cylinders if we got a V8. But it's they're ready. They're ready to prove that, hey man, we can put up points. Purdy's the man. Purdy's the guy. It's clear weather now. Debo's gonna be here for the whole game. You got Jennings back. Let's do this. Let's put up them points. Live that scoreboard.
I love it. I want to see that. I want to see it. Both of these teams are very high-powered offense, so I mean, I could definitely see it. I could see it like a very, high octane type of game. I would love it. I think it's gonna be close, and I don't know if my heart's gonna be able to take it because last week I think I almost went into cardiac arrest. I I don't know if I told you this story. I said it the other night on my live. I was talking to the fans and stuff. So I work at a hospital. I see a lot of elder patients and stuff. And I have this lady who's this huge Niner. She's actually the one that gave me this pin, this chain pin. She used to make them. She was world famous. Her and her sister used to go to Candlestick Park, hand out pins. They were like the first pin, like one of the first basically super fans. They used to make the pins. They used to go out there, pin traders. I can't remember their, I don't want to say all their information because it's HIPAA, but these two were world famous. They knew Eddie D. They were always at the stadium. And she's this artist. She paints all these cool pictures. I mean, she's older now. She's in her 80s. She had all these medical issues, but die hard. And she knows how much I love the Niners. So we were talking, and I said, "Did you watch the game on Saturday?" She goes, "Of course. We were in the activity room watching the TV. I had to come back and ask the nurse to take my blood pressure." I was like, "Oh my God." She's like, "I couldn't take it, Raj." She's like, "I really felt I was so stressed."
Hey.
I was like, "I hope that they don't have another game because I need you to live to see the Super Bowl." She goes, "Me too, honey." It was stressful. It was so funny. She was so sweet.
Hey, there are plenty of people in their 20s that need to check their blood pressure after last week's game, man.
It was crazy. Real quick, off topic. We'll come back to it. But my boy Caleb says off topic. But any thoughts versus Pat and the Ravens defense? Real. Let's talk about the AFC Championship. So if the 49ers win, they're going to either play the Ravens or the Chiefs, and either way, it's a revenge game. Who do you want them to play? Does it matter to you? And what do you think about this AFC Championship game? What's on your mind?
It's a wash for me. I mean, depressed Niner fan in the chat, shout to him. He asked me, what's my unbiased opinion, and who do I think's gonna win? And I straight up told him that it's hard for me to bet on Mahomes, and I hate to say that because Mahomes is really, really good. And if we faced Mahomes again, I'm gonna have a little bit of a PTSD stuck in my head about last time when we thought we were winning in the fourth quarter and everything went to shit. So I don't have any preferences, to be honest with you. Either way, man. I mean, either way, both teams worry me. And at the end of the day, we just have to be on top of our A game. And if we do make it to the Super Bowl, and it's not going to be easy, whoever we play in the Super Bowl. So, how's that?
I like that. It definitely is going to be easy, whoever we play, if we make it there, if we're lucky enough to make it, which I think we will. To me personally, I want to see the Chiefs, man. And I know the Ravens beat us on Christmas and they have a Super Bowl win over us, but it's not this team specifically. This team led by Kyle Shanahan, John Lynch, Deebo, Kittle, all this current Niner squad, this era, their Super Bowl loss was to the Chiefs. We had the game in the palm of our hands. We know what happened. We all know what happened. This team needs revenge over the Chiefs to finish the story. We want to talk about finish the story. WrestleMania is this coming up. Royal Rumble. We want to finish the story. Kittle needs to finish his story, Bash. He needs revenge, right? With the great vengeance. It's the Chiefs. It's Patrick Mahomes. It's Brock Purdy, Patrick Mahomes. It's David versus Goliath. If Brock Purdy goes out and takes out Mahomes, who everybody's comparing to Tom Brady, this would strengthen Brock Purdy's career, his resume. Nobody could sit there and doubt Brock Purdy. Are you kidding me? This would be so amazing. And then you can have the whole Travis Kelce. Is he going to retire or walk out with his brother, propose to Taylor Swift, whatever? I know that's a story going on. But I need to see the Chiefs. I am still upset that they beat the 49ers, this era of the 49ers. This team, I don't think they care about the Ravens as much as we do as fans because we're sick. We hate the Ravens. They beat us in the Super Bowl. But this team, this era, I think it would be sweet if they got so much revenge on the Chiefs. So personally, I want to see the Chiefs. And I would love to see Brock Purdy take down Patrick Mahomes. Are you kidding? Oh, my God. I would be so excited to see Brock take down Patrick Mahomes.
Hey, I'll take it either way, but that'd definitely be a storyline, that's for sure. And either way, if Brock Purdy were to win the Super Bowl, I don't know. It's like it seems like people always find a way to move the goalposts. I'm sure that Brock Purdy will win a good portion of people over some way somehow if he does win it all, but there'll probably still be a percentage of fans. Some of them are dumb Niner fans actually that move the goalposts on anything good that Brock Purdy does, and it's pretty sad actually, but whatever.
Yeah, no, 100%. If the 49ers do win, they will move the goalpost.
Mm,
Donald says, who cares? I only care about a Super Bowl win. I mean, at the end of the day, it don't matter who they play and who they win. If they win a Super Bowl, we're going to be hyped up no matter what. No Border Sports says, personally, I'm focused on this game. Correct. Before you get to the Super Bowl, before you even win it, you got to win this game. It doesn't matter. All this talk doesn't matter if they can't get past the Detroit Lions. So definitely starts this Sunday against the Lions, man. Let's see. Anything that we got to talk about that we haven't yet regarding this game? What have we missed? Have you had any thoughts about this game that we haven't talked about yet, Bash?
Not necessarily any thoughts, but just a few statistical rundowns that we can bring up. As far as the Niners, in terms of giving up points, this kind of played a factor in terms of why I said 34-17. They averaged the 49ers gave up 17 and a half points a game this year, which was third in the NFL, third least basically. And then yardage they gave up 8 yards per game. So just a fun fact to throw around there. And the 49ers pass defense, we are facing Goff, and I get it. Amon-Ra St. Brown's dope. Sam Laporta is a really nice player. Even Gibbs is a good receiver out of the backfield, actually. Almost like a pseudo CMC. 49ers do when they're on point. I'm not, a lot of people are tripping off the DBs and they're saying like, "Oh man, Ambry Thomas sucks and Gibson sucks," and I didn't necessarily want Logan Ryan after he whiffed on that big tackle on missed tackle on Aaron Jones where it became a 53-yard run. But as far as the pass defense goes, I mean, I'm okay with the DBs. I've been fine with them all year. And if it's a game where we get pressure, it's just like it's cake. It's so easy when it's out there. So 49ers normally, when things are good, actually they averaged throughout the season 79.6 passer rating, which was fourth in the NFL. They led the league in interceptions. We'd still find a way to come down with those interceptions. And again, we mentioned Deebo and some of the DBs. They need to get their hands on the ball and take it home, take it to the house. Let's do it.
That's a good point. If they can get pressure, the secondary will have an easier night, and I think that's the key. Like we talked about, get pressure. Secondary's been pretty pretty good this whole season. I mean, they're going to miss some plays. They're going to make some mistakes. I mean, playing secondary, playing cornerback, safety, that's probably the hardest position to play in the NFL. Other than quarterback. It's so tough, man, especially these days with the way the receivers are favored and the way they get, special treatment and, you can't bump off the line. And it's so hard to play press cover nowadays because it's so many tic-tac calls. There's a guy that I'm thinking of. You mentioned missed tackles. You mentioned, the Aaron Jones run. Logan Ryan.
Logan Ryan,
man, missed the biggest tackle. I mean, he got his ankles cooked. You want to talk about crossover, ankle breaker, whatever. This man, his ankles were shattered into millions of pieces that game. And today, Jair Brown on his Instagram story posted, what did he say? Let me see. I posted it. Let me get the exact words he used. So I don't know if he's playing or started this weekend, but he says, thank you, God, for every moment, every obstacle, all the success, all the failures. It all led me here, 100%, right where I want to be. We are back in action. This is what Jair Brown said, the rookie. I want to see Jair Brown play. I know he's a rookie. I know Kyle doesn't trust rookies, and he might make mistakes. Guess what? He's a young rookie. But if he's your future star, he's a blue chip talent that you drafted, you're going to rely on this young man for years to come. This is your cornerstone safety that you drafted. Tashaun Gibson, when he leaves, hopefully he rides off in the sunset this year with the championship. When he retires after this season, he's your starter, him and Hufanga. Let Jair Brown play. I promise you he'll have a better game than Ryan. And he might miss some plays. He's young, but let him learn. He will learn so much from this moment, from this game. I hope that Jair Brown plays this Sunday, man.
Me too, man. We missed was it Tigger? They call him Tigger?
Tig, yeah, Tig.
Tig. My bad. Tig. Gotta say it better. My bad. But Tig, I did. What's up, Aaron, for 49 First Takes? We see him. He's always got plenty to say. Gonna go on live with him tomorrow.
Yeah. We got a Lions fan in the chat.
We got a Lions fan.
Lions, he says, on the last drive, Lions will take knee for victory formation. Yo, someone screenshot that for me.
He left out the part where it says on Madden. So.
Someone screenshot that for me. We keeping that receipt, my boy. Don't worry, we keeping that receipt. Oh my
Yes, sir.
God, I love it. We keeping
I
that
wonder, I
receipt.
wonder if he's from Detroit. I actually got a lot of relatives in Detroit. One of them wanted to call me. I haven't talked to him. I haven't talked to that guy in a minute, but
Oh
I don't think
man.
he even watches. I was surprised he even watches football. He's trying to act like he wants to call me. I'm like, all right, whatever.
Did Speaking of Detroit, did you see the 49ers today? That was funny on Madden. The 49ers today in practice, they started their practice by bumping
I
Eminem.
saw it.
Oh,
I saw that.
that's savage.
Was it what song was it? The "Lose Yourself" song or
Yeah, dude.
"Lose Yourself"? Listen to the music.
Mom's
You got
spaghetti, man. That's
never let
crazy.
it go.
That's
Yeah, 8 Mile.
crazy.
Actually, one of my friends was in 8 Mile.
Oh, that's funny,
That big,
dude.
tall black dude, Omar Miller, that
Hmm.
was in it. Yeah, yeah. That was my boy from
Oh,
San Jose State.
you know him,
Oh yeah, he went to San Jose State. Yep.
my boy. My
Mhm.
Bash knows everybody. You know what?
You know everybody, man. Everybody knows you.
No, bro. You know what? This is crazy. The other day we was talking. I didn't know this that you were a stand-up comedian. When you told me that, I was like, "Oh, I didn't know that,
Oh
bro."
yeah, I know. Yeah, I know my share of comedians. I mean, nobody really famous, but I worked with some people that were on Comedy Central back.
Who'd you work with? Did you work with my boy Aziz Ansari?
Nah, I didn't. I worked with a lot of the Middle East. Okay, so for example, if anybody ever saw the Axis of Evil comedy special on Comedy Central, I worked with about two of the comedians on there, Aaron Cater, Dino Badella, and they're all Middle Eastern comedians. But yeah, they've been on Comedy Central. A few of those guys, yep, back in the day,
That's
my former
awesome.
life.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I was like, this man. No wonder you're so funny, man. I was like, this guy's
I
stand.
try. I try to keep up with you, man.
No, I just got good positive vibes. So, speaking of good positive vibes, George Odom says the Niner fans better show up, be there, get loud. Niner fans, if you're going to this game, I need you to scream, lose your voice, make sure that you have no vocal cords left after the game. I'm gonna be there, Bash, and I cannot wait, dude. I've never been to an NFC Championship game as a home game. I've been 2021. I went, and that was the worst
It's
experience.
Rams. Oh,
You remember what happened? I thought
yeah.
we were walking into SoFi Stadium in Levi South and taking that dub. We should have. We absolutely should have. I need to be in the stadium and I need to see the confetti drop on me this weekend. So I don't know, man.
Drop that Fetty.
Get that Fetty wop on me.
Yeah, that Fetty's gonna be dropping. Like, damn, look at this.
This can be sick, dude.
I was
I
gonna
can't.
say, I went to an NFC Championship game, the fucking Kyle Williams game at Candlestick. So, yeah, man,
we
and
are.
that was the funnest game up until the very end. Because right before the the end, we were hugging each other, jumping up and down, and having so much fun when Justin Smith got that sack, and then it all went to shit.
That's sickening, dude. Yeah. I can't take another heartbreak, Bash. I can't
No,
take
no,
another heartbreak.
it's not going to be allowed. It's not allowed. We can't do
I
it.
don't want to be
Or
sitting there.
Kyle, I'm tired of Kyle getting shitting on, saying he's a choke artist. I'm tired of Purdy getting not getting proper respect. Just this is we can't do this as this the stoic franchise of the San Francisco 49ers. We just can't do. We can't lose. We can't have 3 Super Bowl losses on our resume.
No,
Sorry,
man.
no.
I need to see them win a Super Bowl in my adult lifetime. I saw them win when I was younger, but I need to see them when I'm older because I could turn up. I can get hyped up. I can
Turn
go
up.
paid, bro.
Fun fact. My very first 49er game that I attended with my brother. It's the first game I attended. My brother was with me with my dad. God rest his soul. Shout out to my brother. But we were playing against the Detroit Lions at Candlestick Park. It was the day they had a fire in Oakland. It was in 1991, and there were like ashes from the Oakland fire like dropping down on Candlestick here and there. And it was kind of funny because I mean I'm a huge Niner fan, obviously, right? But I mean I'm also the one player I was a big fan of back in the day was a Barry Sanders, who didn't play for the Niners, obviously. A lot of people like Bo Jackson and all, or Deion Sanders, and Barry Sanders was my guy who didn't play for the Niners. But we just whooped them in that game. It was just like it was a week 8, and it was just a total blowout. If I could pull up the score, I'll let you know. But yeah, they did work. It was Steve Young playing, actually. Steve Young was the quarterback. Jerry Rice did work. Steve Young did work. It was a lot of fun.
That's dope, man. That's a vibe, man. 1991. That's crazy. You know, it's funny that you say that because Barry Sanders was my favorite non-Niner fan. Like, I'm a fan of football. I'm a fan of the Niners first and foremost. But I've always loved, NFL. And growing up, man, there was other players. Even now, you watch fantasy football, you watch these games, and you're just a fan of other players. Sometimes you're like, man, that guy's awesome. Like CMC. I used to love CMC before he became a Niner, and I was so happy we got him. But when I was younger, man, I had a Barry Sanders jersey. I probably still have it somewhere. I used to love Barry Sanders. I swear, man. I was like, man, if he was on I used to have like vivid images of like Barry in the red and gold, running with Steve Young and Jared. Man, imagine Barry Sanders. So it is actually so cool. I don't know if you've heard the news. Joe Montana and Barry Sanders are going to be the team honorary captains for each team. That is sick, dude. Joe Montana, the GOAT, we know how great he is, legendary, helped us, raise the banners, the dynasties. And Barry Sanders was, in my opinion, my humble opinion, he was the greatest running back in the NFL history. I know he retired a little early, but he played on the Lions. His team was he had Scott Mitchell as his freaking quarterback. He carried this
nobody
into this the playoffs, which is crazy because Barry Sanders should have won an MVP. They gave it to Thurman Thomas because he had more all-purpose yards. That was disgusting to me. Barry Sanders was the top tier premier running back in those days. If they would have had fantasy football, bro, Barry Sanders would have won you leagues. And the fact that Barry and Joe Montana are the team captains this weekend, that is so sick, dude. That's so sick to me. Yeah.
And the game I went to was 35-3, and Barry Sanders had 26 yards. Yeah, he was just getting tackled behind the line the whole game, dude.
That's crazy. That's the problem. He would have those games because his line was so bad.
His line sucked.
They had the worst. I don't know how he was able to put up those yards. Imagine him on a good team with a good O-line, on the Dallas Cowboys.
Dallas Cowboys line?
Bro, because when they used to sit there and talk about how Emmett was better, I was like, no, this guy had a line to like a wall. If Barry, and I always tell that to my best friend, one of my best friends, he's a huge Cowboys, and we always have this argument. I said, you put Barry behind that Cowboys line, he wouldn't have to dance 30 yards before he get 20 yards. Because Barry, man, this guy would run 40, 30 yards back, turn on a dime. It was like a Madden play. And then he'd cut up and get 50 yards. It's like, that's an actual 80-yard run. He only got 50 yards out of it. I was like, dang, this guy was dumb. But
that's why I was never big on the Emmitt Smith hype. I know he was a great player, but there were times where I saw Emmitt Smith run through holes that you or I could have ran through and gotten at least 4 yards.
Yeah.
Legit. They were the wide ass holes. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, I mean, he was good, but they said, oh, his vision was great. I mean, you'd have to be blind.
Blind as shit.
You'd have to be Ray Charles, not to see the holes he was running through, bro. Of course his vision's good. Those holes were wider than the freaking, black
He was
hole.
hard to bring down. He was a little hard to bring down. I get that part. Yeah, he was built low to the ground, kind of like Frank Gore, But but I'm sorry. You put, and I think that Barry Sanders would have popped 3,000 yards in a season had he played on the Lions at least one of those years. If he played,
Bash, you would have been 1,000-yard rusher in that.
You never know, man. Maybe one of those years.
Bash would have been.
I'd have had a little touchdown downs and everything, right?
Yeah, man, you would have been killing it, bro. Oh man, I'm excited for Sunday.
Balling.
We're gonna be balling on Sunday. So. I want to hear the chat. I want to see your guys' scores. Drop your score predictions. We'll read them out. Shout out to the chat.
Drop your score predictions. Let's see them.
Yeah, let's see. We got over 100 people in the chat. Make sure you hit that like button. Do me a favor. Make sure you're following 49er Minded. Go to his channel. Follow his page. Subscribe. Like it. All that good stuff. Make sure you're on my channel. Hit that like button. All that good stuff. You know how it helps the algorithm. Whatever the case is. I don't have to tell you. Check out my boy Bash. Appreciate you guys. Bash, any last comments? This is what I got to ask you because I was on K-Pix News this week. I did this team hack. Yeah, it was pretty cool. So it was me, Alex from Niners Nation, 49er Mark, the guy that wears the ring hat.
49er Mark wears the ring hat, yeah.
Yeah, and then Top Hat Debbie. It was actually crazy. We all got on it. They did this interview with us, and the lady asked us the last question. So I want to ask you this. I want you to pretend you're Kyle Shanahan. The team's about to come out of the tunnel. You're about to walk out there, NFC Championship game. What do you tell the squad? What do you tell the team before you walk out, before this team is about to take the field for the NFC Championship game? You're Kyle Shanahan. What do you say? How do you get them fired up? Tell me, Bash.
Put me on the spot, man. Ask me to be the hype guy. I am good at saying things and getting everybody pumped up, but damn.
Hype me up. Hype me up. Let me run through this wall. Hype me up.
I'd be like, hey, let's not fuck this one up, all right? I don't know.
Let's not fuck this one up. Let's go, Kyle.
Let's go.
Sit there. He's gonna pull Brock. He's gonna look at him. Let's not fuck this up. That's how he's gonna do it.
You know what? I would love to see because I was thinking about how Chase Young wasn't doing that all that great. And I was thinking damn, what could they do to get Chase Young get him to be the real Chase Young that we know? I would love to see Trent Williams on the sideline just slapping this dude up in the face and Just I think that it's like
Get him up, man.
slapping Chase Young around. Boom, get to the quarterback. Come on now, let's go.
I need to see him hyped up. Me too.
Yeah.
I want to see Brock just like absolutely hyped. Like my man Peter Parker says, Batch got that dog in him. Yeah, man, you got that
Oh
dog.
yeah, thank you. Appreciate it, man. That's my guy right there.
My man, depressed Niners fan says, "Do you think Moody makes a game-winning field goal?" I pray that it doesn't come down to a game.
Oh, dude, I'd have to like not look. I'd be like this.
I'm gonna be.
Hey, when they had you on KPIX Channel 5, were you remote, like at your house doing it, or did they brought you to the studio?
No, I did it a couple weeks ago, and I was home that day. But this time I was work, so actually I had to like cut out of work. I was in my car. Everybody else was at home. They were chilling. Like I, Debbie's retired. Mark, I never see the guy work, and Alex he took an hour off of work to do it. So I'm the only one. I'm in my car after work, and I'm just like trying to do the video. They're all in their house. I was like, damn, I'm jealous, but it is what it is. It was remote on a Zoom.
I'm trying to find it on the KPIX YouTube channel. Gotta be on there. Dope, I see other videos from other Niner fans. I bet you're in one of these videos, man.
Yeah, it's somewhere. I did one a couple weeks ago too, where I was home and we did a hype up. I was on the news like two times.
You should have screen captured and put on your Instagram or something.
I'll find it. I just haven't had time to check it out. Alex put his up on his page, so I don't know if you've seen it.
Well, who's Alex? You keep mentioning Alex. Is that the tailgate guy?
You know the Niners Nation Instagram?
I know Niners Nation Instagram. I gotta see this. Do you know his last name?
Yeah, Alex Tran.
Okay. I think I know what you're talking about.
He's the one that actually made the George Kittle F Dallas shirt.
Okay. I know what you're talking about. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but I want my final comments here. I want Brock Purdy to walk into Levi's. I want him to dominate the Lions. I want him to have a masterclass game. I don't care if Deebo has a good game. I don't care if CMC. Obviously I care. I'm not saying I don't care. I want them to all star and do good. I want Deebo Samuel, obviously, to go out there and make CJ Gardner Johnson look like a idiot. I want him to make him look stupid, but I want Brock Purdy to go in there and have the most masterclass game. I want Brock Purdy to be the reason this team wins. I want him to, when they're talking, to the team, NFC Championship, hosting the NFC Championship trophy, when they're talking to Kyle and he says, there's one man that made us win this game today, and he hands the mic over, and it's Brock Purdy. And I want Brock Purdy to have his moment, because then everybody in the media that was hating him this week is going to look absolutely stupid. Ryan Clark, Colin Cowherd.
Oh, man, long list.
All those, the list is longer than Atlantis. Let me tell you, boy, I want all of those guys to look stupid this week. I cannot wait. I want a Brock Purdy masterclass. That's my final take. I need to see Brock cook on Sunday.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. And you brought up Kittle earlier because you were saying Kittle's like one of the X factors, and Detroit's like 14th in the league at guarding tight ends. They gave him a 97 passer rating versus tight ends, so we should be able to exploit that. So let's do this.
George Kittle, Brock. The middle. He's been cooking.
George Kittle, catch me up the middle.
Let's go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, appreciate you guys for hopping in, tuning in. Thank you guys for catching the live. Thanks for hopping in on Instagram early. It's been a good night. I hope you guys have a great rest of your night tonight, Friday. Have a beautiful Saturday. Real quick, I got to plug. I'm always plugging stuff. Let me plug.
And we got some score predictions that we can read off too if you want.
Yeah, go ahead and read the score predictions.
Yeah.
I'm going to post a couple things. I'm going to talk to you about a couple things.
Sure.
So tomorrow, after party, the Gold Rush Tour. Tomorrow, if you're in San Jose, it's a free entry at the Plex, 800 Embedded Way, San Jose, California. So the Plex, if you guys want to hang out and do something tomorrow, there's so many, things going on. But if you're out in San Jose, join the Gold Rush Tour. It's free. It's an after party from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Free entry. Tom Rathman is going to be there, guys. Tom Rathman,
number 44.
Two-time champion, will be there. Check it out. If you're in San Jose, check it out. We are still doing our ticket giveaway with Gold Bar. If you haven't tapped in yet, I'm doing a ticket giveaway to the NFC Championship game. Yes, the Sunday's game with Gold Bar Whiskey. Go check out my Instagram. Go enter it. You have until tomorrow at 12 p.m. and we'll announce the winners. 2 people will get a winner will get 2 tickets basically for the game. Gave away 2 tickets last week. Gold Bar did. This week they partnered with me. So those are the 2 big giveaways. Yeah, man, it's going to be a good weekend. I love you guys. And I just want to say thank you for the support.
Let's go. So we do got a lot of score predictions.
Yeah. Let's talk about them.
Let's go.
27-20 says Della. Julia says E40 versus Eminem. You know the vibes. Raphael says 31-20. Itchy says 34-20 Niners.
There you go.
Julia says 40-24. Monique says
Okay, I like that one.
Raphael, thank you. He says, great show, gentlemen. Susan says, thanks, guys. Fun show. Appreciate y'all.
Monique says 24-21.
Yeah. Omar says, I'm a true hype man. Appreciate you. That's what I do.
There you go.
Let's see. My man. Let's see. A couple other scores. We got any other scores? Let's see. Ted's beats 37-27. Niner Gang says 38-13. Flood says 31-20. Irvish says, go Lions, 31-17. My boy, you getting screenshotted. I hope we win. If not, you're going to have a lot to talk to me about. But yeah, good stuff, ladies and gentlemen. With that, we are out. Bang, bang.
Bang, Niner gang. Niners!